Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting video. And today we're gonna be diving into the ringing rocks. Now we're gonna start here on Wikipedia, and let me just read this little bit for you. So ringing rocks are also known as sonorous rocks or lithophonic rocks, and they are able to resonate like a bell when struck. And as you can see here, not much else. So that's about all we know about these rocks. So how about that? It's quite good, right? It's very clear. It really, like he says in the video, it really resonates. So for the next video, we're going into Zimbabwe. And this credit goes here to Bryan Orford. This is his video. And as you'll see a bit later in this one, it's in the middle of nowhere in Matopos National Park. Hope I'm saying that right. Probably not. But it's in the middle of nowhere, and it seems to be on a bedrock, which is something I'm noticing more and more. Now, I've linked all the videos in the description, and I've also made a nice playlist for you guys to make it easy for you to watch them all. So that playlist is on my channel. You can just go look for it there. This one actually sounds like that handpan instrument. So moving on to the next one, we're going to the US, and this is in Philadelphia if I'm not mistaken. And there's a whole field of these boulders, and it seems to be quite the tourist attraction. So let's have a look. So interesting, and they seem to be enjoying themselves. I would be too. So all of the remaining ones are in India. So let's take a look at this one. Really nice sound, really metallic sound coming from this one, almost like a steel pipe or a steel bar or something. And you'll see if you go watch this video, it's quite a big rock. And yeah, it's also just sitting there in the middle of nowhere. Alright, so let's see the two remaining ones. Alright, and so on to the last one, and this is the best one of them all. So this is by PraveenMohan. I'm quite a big fan of his as well. Great quality for this video. This sound is just so beautiful. It's so clear, and this is a massive rock. So it's hard to fathom how a rock would create this sound without actually being hollow. But yeah, it's down to the crystalline structure, which I feel is of the utmost importance, especially when we look at these stone circles and how there is a transfer of energy. Today we're going to go into what the science says and what I also think is going on. So we're going to start here on the website Beyond Science. I think this is just a blog, so not scientific paper or anything. But what I found interesting is the study was done in the 1960s, and this caught my eye. So what FAS found was an explanation to one of the most widely claimed myths about the ringing rocks. Unlike the stories, the rocks don't lose their ability to make sounds when taken out of the boulder field. They still produce a series of low-frequency sounds, which remain inaudible to the human ears until it's layered with a similar low-frequency sound coming from the other rocks. Okay, so very interesting point there. Now, I want to go into that more deeply, but for now, let's just move on. So here they couldn't really find any physical evidence as to why the rocks are singing. And here they give a lot of explanations, which is all pretty ridiculous, but you can read them there. But yeah, they don't really know how the boulders got there in the first place. And some ridiculous theories, but anyway. So researchers of a project discovered that the blue stones, or the inner circles of Stonehenge, share the same musical ability as that of the boulders of the ringing rocks. Evidence showed that almost all of the rocks had scuff marks, proving that they were chosen to have the ability to make ringing sounds. And then they go by some strange coincidence. It just so happens that where the stones were sourced from Preseli Hills, there was a village called Maiklonkoch, I really don't know how to say that, which translates to bell or ringing stones. And that's where they got the stones apparently. So very interesting that the Stonehenge actually has the same rocks. And I know that also Stonehenge has some acoustic properties. So when you stand inside, there's like a resonance, like in a bathroom, for example. So moving on to this website. This is called geologian.com, and very interesting stuff to read here. So they go into the geology, and as you can see straight away, they're talking about Earth's crust and 200 million years ago. So immediately I'm turned off because how do you know that in the first place? And you know, when you talk about these millions and billions and trillions of years and whatevers, immediately you suggest that it's unverifiable. You cannot go against their opinion. But yet this is how the mainstream works, right? Now, I'm sure they made an educated guess. But still you're guessing, you're speculating. Okay? So let's move on from the geology. And then there's some good stuff over here. And this is a great sentence. They're talking about, what do we know about the rock's ringing ability? You're gonna love this. There has been a great deal of controversy concerning the ringing rock ability of the boulders. Conversely, there has been an almost complete lack of testing to support the conjectures. And then they go on about certain stuff, and basically it has not been tested since the 60s. So I don't know what geologists are doing, but you could really make a name for yourself. So I like this part where they say a more plausible theory is that the elastic stresses remained in the rocks when the boulder fields formed, and the slow weathering a possible source of the stresses would likely be the loading stresses from the time the rocks were crystallized. There's stress inside the rock. How would that happen? So if there is a lot of temperature difference, so they're talking about maybe the stuff coming out of the earth very hot and then it's very cold, ice age or whatever, then there's stress created inside, which makes sense. So this is the theory I like the most. Over here it says the relic stress theory implies that the ringing rock boulders act much like a guitar string. When a guitar string is limp, it does not resonate, but a plucked string will provide a range of sounds depending on the level of applied tension. Okay, so this is the best I got from mainstream articles and science. Alright, so last thing, I wanted to show you this video. It's really cool, and this old guy is playing his instrumental rocks, so enjoy this little concert. Okay, awesome. So, guys, now I want to have a last say about these scientific theories. All of these theories still don't really make sense, because why are these specific rocks the only ones affected, and why are there these boulder fields usually in a straight line? It only happens in these areas. Why not around? Okay, so that's my concern. Now we're going to go over here, and this is a video of the stone circles in South Africa. Now what you'll see is the same thing. So I'm not sure if all of the stones have this capability, but certainly the ones in this video. And this is really why I think this is important, because if all of these stones have this capability, then you're talking about the transfer of energy and sound waves. So I know I'm speculating too now, but what else could these massive circle complexes been used for? I mean, you're not going to, create these circle structures on the whole part of Africa just for nothing. So there must have been a very important use case for these, if not many. So let's look at this video and you'll see just what I'm talking about. Okay, so what do you think about that, guys? So this opens up a whole new discussion, and I really feel like it makes sense. If you can transfer sound, you can transfer energy, or you can harness energy, whatever the case may be. These guys are super technical, but still working in a very simple way.
That's what you want. You realize that this thing really rings like a bell, and it reverberates for quite a long time.
So what makes these rocks make these sounds? And it all comes down to the crystalline structure inside, because they are not hollow as far as I can tell, because I've dug into this. I've searched for the hollow rocks and I couldn't find anything. It's down to the crystalline structure. In this particular case, the Hornfels rocks are made of quartzite, metamorphosized quartzite. Alright, so this is just another example of those stone circles in South Africa.
Excellent, thank you, Nat. Hello, Isabel. Where about?
Look at that valley. The whole place is just fabulous.
Uncle Bob, I'm not the forestry truck.
Aren't you? Oh. Keep going for a minute.
Stand like this for hours.
Can't you?
Okay, and then one last video of the stone circles in South Africa.
And does the black jet grow the same height?
Yes, because what I do know about these black flags is it is a pioneer plant. Pioneer plant is the first plant that occurs in an area that is disturbed. So if you pull the grass out and it's just bare soil and there's nothing holding the soil together, that's what is not suitable for grass to actually shitty plants that are
All the books from today, Nick. Years ago, I started the question. I only want to do it.
Well, there's a good one.
So guys, that's all for today. I thank you so much for watching. Please do share this if you want, and I'll see you on the next one.